Okay, good morning, everyone. Can you take a guess where I'm at right now? Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. South Dakota. I'm in South Dakota right now. Got a beautiful little spot here. Truck stop not too far from the state capital of South Dakota. Beautiful little spot here. Spent the night here. Nice concrete slab with a beautiful view of the South Dakota lands. Hopefully the signal is coming in pretty good. I've got at least, I think, 3 bars of service right now. Beautiful little spot here. Nice weather in June. I was going to do this talk inside the RV. Give it a thumbs up if the sound is coming in okay. But obviously I'm at a truck stop right now, so it seems to be a little quiet. So I think you guys could probably be able to hear me okay. But if sound isn't good, then I'll go inside. Yeah, beautiful out here. Loving it. Loving the scenery. South Dakota is a whole bunch of free camping in South Dakota. What do we have on here this morning? Anybody? Okay, so you're probably wondering, what am I doing in South Dakota? Aren't you supposed to be in Minnesota? I feel like I keep repeating myself on these videos here. Okay, make it 2015 great again. All right, thanks for watching in this little video series. This is what happens when you put yourself out on the internet. You tell people what you're doing, and then the plans change, and everybody thinks you're an idiot. So, I'm not an idiot, though. Pretty smart. Okay, so basically, what happened in Minnesota, I'm not work camping. I'm not in Minnesota right now. I showed up to the KOA campground for one day, spent one night, and I left the following day. Basically what happened, there was some promises made to my friend who hired me that did not get met. And if anything, there was, it's the classic story of say one thing, do another, make a bunch of promises, and then that's not what's going to happen. And so there was, to just kind of put it politely, there were management difficulties. My friend was hired to be the general manager of this KOA. So he was going to be the lead person and oversee the entire park. And, he would basically, he had full reign of the park, which was the original agreement by the owner. And the owner, this park just changed ownership. So a new owner. And so there's the owner, and then there's his sister, and his sister got involved. And that kind of, when she came into the mix, she was supposed to do some things that she didn't do, or, that was said that was going to be done, and that didn't happen. And so there was just this whole cluster of difficulties going on. And so my friend decided, okay, I'm gone. He left, I left. I told him, I says, if you're not going to be here, I'm not going to be here. So anyways, yeah, it was unfortunate. I was looking forward to it to being a fun job, something fun to do, something to take some of my skills and background and experience and pour it into a campground. But it didn't, things just didn't end up going that way. But as far as the campground goes, it was what I'll just call an unloved campground. Very unloved, very neglected. It was way behind in a lot of the maintenance. It needed a whole bunch of upkeep. And so it was probably better for me not to kind of, just be there. It was, there's just a lot of things that needed to be fixed. The previous owners really didn't, I don't think, they didn't have much love for the park. They didn't, I don't think, really cared much. They kind of just ran it into the ground is kind of what I kind of gathered when I showed up. And I took a tour of the campground. Not a bad campground. It just needed some love and some tender care that I could have given it. My friend could have given it, and our crew could have given it. But unfortunately, some of the people on the management team had other plans. Whatever those are. So, if you're watching, I wish the best of luck to you. So, go grab a drink of water. So, anyways, that's pretty much it. Went up to Minnesota. Beautiful, beautiful drive. Minnesota's beautiful. Kind of reminded me a lot of somewhat of Oregon and Washington in some ways, but definitely. A lot greener and very cleaner in a lot of respects, just driving around. Not a lot of trash anywhere, not a lot of garbage anywhere. That's always a sign of the people that live there, that, the people that care about their state. So, and I kind of found that throughout the Midwest. It's very clean, not a lot of garbage everywhere. The people generally, that's a sign of the people. So, kind of good to see. So yeah, I basically got up the following day and left, and just decided to keep here, keep traveling. So I decided to head west, and I've always wanted to go to South Dakota, and that's what I'm doing now. So I'm just out traveling around, going to places that I want to see. As far as right now, it's pretty much an open book for me right now. As far as where I go from now, I say I don't have any plans, but I have plans. I mean, I think if anything, this is probably a great turning point for me right now. As far as just I'm kind of done with all this in between things, and I need to really get focused on what it is that I want to do, and I need to do it. So I think this was my sign, my message from high above. And I'll usually tend to believe that when things a lot of times happen for reasons, and I tend to believe that in that theory a lot, that there's just things that happen in life and you can't explain everything. I mean, of course you can't explain everything. Nobody has all the answers except the entity upstairs. So yes, I'm just going to be moving on here. Moving on. There's a lot of camping in South Dakota. A lot of free camping areas that I've noticed. Pulled up on iOverlander is an app that I've been using that's been helpful, and then the freecampsites.net, that is always helpful to find camping places. But definitely, I'm heading towards Rapid City. I want to go to Rapid. Always wanted to go to Rapid City and Box Elder, and I'm not really sure where I'm going to go. Like I said, I don't really have a plan, anything writing and written in stone where I want to go. I generally like to keep it that way. Obviously, with the fifth wheel, I'm not as mobile as if I had a truck camper, so I don't like dragging. I don't want to drag this thing all through the mountains and get all kind of crazy roads and stuff. This is just not the rig for that. This is more of a stick to the highways. So kind of like truck driving. So who do we got on this morning? Anybody watching? CTAP 1. Good morning, Jeff. Well, shoot, man, that sucks. Good attitude, though. Go forward and make lemonade out of the situation. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's okay. I'm actually happy the way things really kind of turned out, because that was not a place that I was going to want to be under the new circumstances that unfolded. So yeah, it's just moving on. Show you guys a little bit of change, a little different, well, somewhat different scenery from this side. Yesterday I crossed over the Missouri River, and that was interesting here in South Dakota, between where I'm at, crossing over the Missouri River. This a fairly long bridge, but that's a behemoth of a river, the Missouri River. I was looking at it on Google Maps, and that river just goes forever. Like, I think it begins in Idaho somewhere, or Montana. I mean, it's just a huge river. But I guess, you know, that's where they get a lot of the irrigation for a lot of the farming here. Kind of like the Columbia River in Washington State. Sorry, came in late. What happened? Well, you'll have to hit the rewind. You have to hit the rewind button and rewatch the beginning of the video. I just explained what happened, but it's all there. Nothing big deal. Matt King, Montana. Yes, I did have some thoughts about going to Montana. Not totally sure yet if that's what I want to do. Montana's such a huge state. I mean, if you're going to go to Montana, you better be prepared to go to Montana, because you know, it's hours and hours of driving to go from going to point A to point B, right? So it's a real big, huge state that I really could probably just spend the whole summer there, and you know, go camping, which would be a lot of fun. Not sure if that's what my priorities are saying different though. Right now, my priorities are saying different. So I've been off, you know, here on a break since January. It's now what, June? So definitely feeling like I want to get into being productive, doing something other than just, you know, being on vacation. Casey, hey Casey, good morning, buddy. How you doing this morning? Good morning from South Dakota. Beautiful South Dakota. Had a nice rainstorm yesterday on the way here. Rainstorm on Interstate 90. But yeah, it's definitely pretty here. What did I pay? I paid $5.13. Oh no, I paid $5.04 a gallon yesterday for diesel here in South Dakota. So this whole trip coming up here from Arizona, I've paid on the average about $5 a gallon. So, you know, to me that's pretty reasonable. I know in Oregon and Washington it's approaching $6 a gallon. So, you know, that's significantly a lot more. But it's just money. It's only money. You always make more of it. You cannot make more time though. That's the thing. So that's what I always tell myself. We got, who else we have here? We got James. James, good morning. Good morning, James. Brother-in-law, James. How are you, James? Nice. Thanks for coming on. It's good to hear from you. Send hello from Dan and I. All right. Well, sending it right back to you for here in South Dakota. PK was on the other stream. I didn't have another stream. We got Matt King. Get a job there as a camp host. Yeah. Get a job as a camp host, cleaning bathrooms and cleaning up after people. Yeah, that's what you do as a camp host. This work camping gig I was going to do, my role wouldn't be cleaning bathrooms, but of course it could come up and happen. But that's not what I was going to be doing. I was going to be more or less be doing more of the maintenance, the grounds of the park. So, you know, generally at a lot of these work camping gigs, there are people that their duties are to do housekeeping or to do the bathroom cleaning, you know. So just reading you guys' comments. So, you know, it is fun to be out here, though. I always tell myself that. I consider myself very blessed, very grateful to be out here. You know, there's a lot of people who, you know, they work their entire life to do what I'm doing right now. You know, a lot of people don't start doing this till they're, you know, in their mid 60s. You know, and so I'm grateful that you know, I'm out here and traveling and just seeing places and taking the time to do it. You know, when I can. You know, in a lot of cases, it is a little crazy to some people. It is a little risky. You know, I'm definitely giving up some security being out here, giving up some, you know, financial rewards that I would be otherwise doing. But at the same time, I'm, you know, out here definitely feeling that living in the moment, living in the present, and just taking it all in, and just it's a really you know, that's just my take, my kind of take on it. Of course, the ultimate situation would be for myself would be to be out here and earning an income while I'm out here doing this. That would be my ultimate situation. However, I'm still figuring that out. You know, an online business really would be the ticket to just doing this life, you know, full bore. You know what I'm saying? And so the business of making YouTube videos, it doesn't really, it's, you know, it doesn't pay very much. I mean, unless you're doing videos that are making, you know, 100,000 views a video. Like, I watch a lot of these recovery channels, you know, Matt's Off-Road Recovery. And man, I mean, I'm so happy for all these channels. I mean, these guys, they put up one video and it gets sometimes 1 million views. And that's how you could really kill it on YouTube. But you know, and I've had the dream of going out and making power sports content. So getting an enclosed trailer, getting another truck camper, and driving around and creating content about, you know, ATVs and going to different riding locations and promoting products to sell, promoting other brands, promoting other companies in the industry. You know, that was really the thing that I'd love to do. I really would like to do. I think if I could do anything, and I would blow it up. I would do all kinds of things. I would do giveaways. I probably would do bike builds, and I probably would do giveaways. I would want to like go big with it. I would want to try to, you know, get to like a couple 100,000 subscribers doing it. But what's holding me back from doing it is just I'm going to be burning a lot of cash, like for probably a couple of years. And you know, it's that's part of the risk that you have to kind of evaluate, and I'm just not, you know, I really would hate to be in a position where I'd burn through a lot of my cash doing it, you know, and then have to like start all over again, or start over, you know, and kind of like start over again. But I don't, you know, I don't really think that would happen. I really think that it would get a lot of traction and stuff, because there's a huge audience for what I'd like to do. And it can go in a lot of different directions. I mean, in the power sports industry, there's ATVs, side-by-sides, there's jet skis, snowmobiles. I mean, this thing could turn into my thoughts are it would be more of a seasonal thing where I would travel to the areas, but it could go like, you know, we could be doing ATVs in the summer, and in the winter we could be doing snowmobiles, you know, which that would be like probably over the top, too much, you know, because I wouldn't really need to be that big. I could probably be more in just a smaller narrow niche. like the Banshees and, high performance four-wheelers, and so forth. But that's what I'd like to do. But like I said, I'm going to be, there's a lot of things I could do to kind of help out. I could have a fuel fund, like a PayPal fund, that if people would want to contribute to, like the fuel budget, that's something that, of course, that I could do to, of course, any of those monies would go back into the channel, and there's things like that that I can do. But that's really what I've thought long and hard about doing. If I could kind of do anything, and that's really always been like my big dream. And how do you tackle that? Well, step one, you do it. You commit to doing it. You go all in, and you take some risks. Risk is everything you do in life. There's risk, and the more risk you take, the more chances that the reward, it's going to be a huge reward. Okay, I mean, the worst thing that happens is that, well, you fail, and you have to, I don't know, you got to do something else. But I don't think you really have to start over. I think you just have to really change what you're doing, because there's already a lot of people out there that are doing what I want to do, and they're successful at it. So I think it's probably more or less a function of copying what they're doing, or copying their business model, and just implementing it into the thing that I want to do. So I don't know how I got off on that long tangent. I'm just sharing with you guys some of my thoughts out here on the road. I guess I could also talk about truck driving too. There's all kinds of things I could talk about. When I started this live stream, I was only going to go for a little bit, but as I get going here and get chatting, there's a lot of things that I could chat about. Reading you guys' comments. James Solon, back to work for me. Keep the awesome content coming. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that, James. I hope you have a great day today, man. I love you guys, and I think about you guys every day. Think about the Solons every day. I think about you guys out here every day. So I wish I could be with you right now. Remind me where you're now and heading to where. I am in South Dakota. I'm near the state capital, which is Pierre, South Dakota. I'm kind of in about the halfway point of the state right now, off of Interstate 90. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it. Casey, my videos definitely don't get 1 million views. Well, that's okay. I get people all the time that sometimes will ask me, like, how do I get, well, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And that's really, in my opinion, the wrong mindset to look at it. It's really just about being consistent with what you're doing and being consistent with your message, whatever it is. Message. What do I mean by message? This is what I think. Being consistent with your message is just, what is your channel about? Is it about camping? Okay, well, just be consistent with that. And being consistent is like, okay, well, how many videos can you upload? I mean, like, you can upload as many videos as you want, and they're continuing to make the process easier. They're doing the shorts now. I've been dabbling with it a little bit, and even these live streams are very, very simple because there's no editing. And the same way with the shorts, there's no editing. So they're making it easier for you to publish content and to upload it to your audience, and to continue to build your audience and get your message out into the world. So I really, the whole view thing, when I, with the views thing, from a monetary standpoint, like, that's how you generate a lot of revenue on YouTube, is through views. And there's a lot of people that exploit that through different ways. They do clickbait. And today, you kind of, in my opinion, have to kind of be doing a lot of that because of the algorithm. And the algorithm has changed a lot over the years. And that's one of the downsides I have with YouTube, is that if you're going to be a YouTuber, okay, and go all in with this, you know, like big channels, you know, like, you know, one of them that comes to mind is Wrangler Star. Like, you know, you got to play the algorithm, you know, and these other channels do. They play the algorithm, and they're successful at what they do, but you're going to have to submit yourself to the YouTube gods, you know, and all of the other stuff that goes on with, you know, YouTube, and the you got to be careful now what you say, and so, you know, obviously if you're in it, you just, you know, if you're in a controversial subject, you're gonna have a tough time, a tough go with it. But if you're with something that's just more neutral, you know, like sewing or chainsaws, or I think you're gonna be fine. So, or camping. I think you're gonna be fine. But anyways, I don't know, Casey. I'm just rambling on, just kind of sharing with you kind of like my thoughts, because I hear that one from a lot of people. I don't get a lot of million views, but and then again, it's like, okay, well, I mean, do you enjoy doing it? You know, well, I guess if you enjoy doing it, then it really isn't about the views, you know. And people are gonna catch on to your message after time. You know, there's an audience for everybody out there. So I really believe that. You know, we're all different. Everyone has a different personality, and everyone relates different to each other. I'm not for everybody, you know. So people call me a big hick or whatever. I don't care. I mean, you're not for me, you know. And I'm not, by the way. I'm a little bit of everything. I consider myself a little bit of everything, because I'm an American, and to me, being an American is you're everything that America is. Okay, getting off on my opinions. But yeah, it's just being relatable, and you're going to relate to people that I'm not going to relate to. I'm going to relate to people that you know, I'm going to relate to people that, you know, we're all going to relate differently to everybody. And that's the beauty of YouTube, is you know, I'm going to quote Adventure Van Man. He talked about finding your people, finding your tribe. And I think that's very true, you know, out here with in the YouTube space. You know, I think, and even in this camping and nomading experience, you know, in the nomading experience, there's many different type walks of people out here. Okay, and you know, you may or may not, you know, fit into one group. You might be better with this group. Find your people. So yeah, that's I don't know. That's just kind of my thoughts on YouTube. I don't have all the answers. I'm not a guru. Like I said earlier before, I probably don't give myself enough credit, but you know, my channel's pretty much been a side hustle, poorly executed. But then again, you know, I haven't quit yet. I haven't quit. I'm still going. I haven't thrown in the towel. I've quit a lot of things in my life. YouTube has probably been the thing that I've probably been, out of all of the things that I've done, it's probably the thing that I've been the most successful at. So, and I'm not saying that to brag or toot my horn. I'm just saying that, like, we all have gifts and we all have things that we're good at, and some people are better at than others, you know. Just reading your comments. We got CTAP1. Andrew Moose does some sports videos, but he doesn't seem to get the love from subs. It's funny what it is, and it's not a hit. Perhaps sexy things up what works. Yeah, yeah. You have to do what works, and I think through enough trial, you know, and trial and error, you'll figure out what works. I mean, there's some really cool channels out there that get massive views, have massive following, and they don't do anything fancy. They don't do any thumbnails. You know, they're doing just, you know, really boring stuff, you know. So yeah, you know, talk about what you're passionate about, talk about what you love about, and share it with the world. You know, for me, I love camping. I've always loved camping. It's been a big part of my life, and that's why I'm out here talking about camping. That's probably the biggest reason I'm out here talking about camping. It's been with me my whole life. It's in my blood. So that's why I'm out here talking about camping. Camping is one of the things I like, but there's other things I like too. Wayne, good morning, Wayne. Well, this sucks. I was waiting on your going live at 9 and you never showed. I did show. I showed at 9:03. I was on. So I don't know. I'm on like Central Time right now. So I scheduled this live stream, but I'm still, I don't know. Maybe I made a mistake doing it or something. For whatever reason, I thought that if you scheduled a live stream, you could go into that event and like start it. But I had to like. I started this live stream by basically just telling I wanted to go live now. So I'll have to do some research into that and figure out if I did something incorrect there. I guess I might have missed your reason for leaving the camp gig. Yeah, if you go back and re-watch this video from the beginning, I went in and explained in the first few minutes of what happened, Wayne. Kelly, good morning, Kelly. How are you? Good morning from South Dakota. "32 minutes in. So where I'm at right now, just a nice parking lot. This is a beautiful little truck stop I'm at. Got the slide pushed out. Living good out here right now. Living real good. We've got some wildlife out here. There's a little pond, some swans, some ducks, geese. Beautiful day out here in South Dakota. Yeah, it is really nice out here. I really like it. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Yeah, it's very peaceful out here. This truck stop is a really cool truck stop. It actually has, let me swing it around here and show you. It has over there, that's an RV only fueling island. And then over here, that's the truck fueling island. And then in the front, this is a Sinclair. And in the front of the station, it's for vehicles and automobiles for fueling. So this is one of the nicest truck stops I've ever been at, I think. They have a restaurant, they got a coffee shop, they've got a restaurant. They don't sell propane here though, that's the only thing. And I'm down to 1 tank right now on my propane. So all you preppers out there are going to be really upset with me. What? You only got one propane tank left? You didn't fill them up? What the hell's your problem? Even have a little dinosaur over here. I'm not sure what that's all about. Can you guys see that? There's a dinosaur. See that dinosaur over there in the background? That green dinosaur? I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe. Oh, well, duh. Come on, Dalton. The Sinclair. That's the logo for Sinclair Fuel. So we don't have Sinclairs on the West Coast. This must be a you guys some trucks. This guy's looks like he's hauling some food or something. There's a fuel hauling truck. That's a tractor trailer fuel hauling truck. I didn't used to drive those. I used to drive a truck and trailer combination. So that's a tractor trailer fuel truck. And believe it or not, those trucks haul about the same amount of fuel as my truck and trailer hauled. 105.5. You guys have any other questions or anything, or? Anything you want to ask me? Oh yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Heavy haul, scraper. Yeah, scraper. Heavy haul. Heavy haul would be, I think heavy haul would be a lot of fun. When I say fun, just oh yeah, we could talk about trucking. We can talk about all kinds of things, guys. Endless here. Trucking. Probably going to lose about a third of you now. I don't want to hear about, I don't want to hear about truck. I'm here for camping. I'm here for camping, South Dakota, and RVing. Yeah, all right, well. Okay. Trucking, heavy haul. Heavy haul, I think I always thought would be a lot of fun because every load is different, and there's a challenge with every single load you do. With the fuel hauling is really easy, but it's really boring. I mean, it's super boring, and that's the thing I think that makes or breaks people with fuel hauling is how boring it is, because it's the same thing all day long. You're going to the same places. Hope you guys can. I hope the audio is still okay. You guys can still hear me. And that was kind of the thing that with fueling is you could go a little bit crazy. When I say crazy, I mean you're just like, oh, not another day. So, but I like fueling because there's a routine with it. And that worked well for me. However, it did really get boring. So, and that kind of, can lead to getting complacent. And so you really have to if you're going to be a fuel hauler, you really have to get creative with spicing up your day, changing things up. You have to get creative with, breaking that mundane, that same thing every day. And I don't know what that is. Maybe it's getting a dog, a pet, which I didn't have. I think that can really help. That's why a lot of truck drivers have pets, because it takes their minds off the day, and it gives them a good, healthy distraction. But if anybody wants to know, one of the main reasons why I stopped trucking, or I left, it's just the hours. Trucking consumes so much of your time. Okay, your time. It consumes so much of your time, and that was the main reason why I decided to stop. I could always go back to doing it. That's the cool part about trucking is you can always get a trucking job anywhere, but it consumes so much of your time. And with fuel hauling, it's a 12 to 14 hour day most days. People talk about the money. Yeah, you can make good money, but you're paying a ton of taxes. After you make a lot of money in trucking as a company driver, you don't really have any tax deductions. And so, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Everybody's going to be different. But it consumes so much of your time. And it's a very, what should I say? it's a very, you don't get a lot of respect in career. I don't really care what, what you're hauling, what you're doing, which is really sad, because everything that in a society we consume, it all got there on a truck. It all came on a truck, So if we just loved our truck drivers just a little bit more, it would make such a huge difference in the morale of the industry. But the industry needs it needs a lot of improvements to be made. So it looks like he's doing an unload right now, and if you looks like he has a pump on the truck, it looks like, and he's pumping off the truck into those tanks over there. That's something that we have to do in fuel hauling sometimes, is use the pump to pump off the load into the tanks. And the way that you can tell what he's hauling is it's either 1203 or 1993. 1993 is diesel, 1203 is gas. Speaking of trucking, I spent the night at a Walmart in Sioux Falls the other night, and I wish I would have got it on video. I would have sent it up to the YouTube channel, Bonehead Truckers. Well, I ran into a bonehead trucker. The guy backed his box van trailer in a Walmart parking lot, like rubbed it, curbed the tires, blew out both outside tires, blew out, boom, boom. Like it sounded like a 12 gauge shotgun going off. And then he like tweaked the light post, like bent it over, like, I mean, who does this kind of stuff, Terrible. I think I'm going to go for about another 5 minutes, and I'm going to shut it down, guys. I'm going to shut the live stream down. You're probably having a difficult time hearing me anyways over the sound of the pump. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it. Starting to feel some of that humidity come on. It's really not too bad. Where the humidity was the worst on this trip was when I was in Nebraska. Yeah, woo, Nebraska. I was in Omaha, and yeah, it was hot. It was warm. It was pretty hot in Nebraska. We got reading you guys' comments here. Jason D, good to see you, Dalton. Any plans of coming back to Oregon? I don't know for sure. I was, way before this trip began, before I came out here, I was planning on going back to Florence, but my space to park was not available, and I don't have anywhere else to park in Florence. So that's that. CTAP1, my feed showed you your post last night, but you had to refresh at 9 to see the new live stream. A little confusing. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. It wasn't very straightforward. It's scheduling the live stream. There was just some weird things with it. I'll have to do some more looking into it. Kelly McCoy, 30 years of trucking. The best for me was log trucking. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that in all of the different types of trucking, I like I think I probably would like construction the most, like construction driving. Construction, and what is construction driving? Construction is dump trucking, it's water trucking, belly dumping. With the construction work, it's daytime work. You're not working all hours of the day. It's daytime work, usually, unless you're doing paving jobs. Paving is another good one which I love paving into construction work. And it pays really, really good. So I think for myself, I'm probably more best suited for that kind of work. The fuel hauling, it isn't bad. Fuel hauling is great, but like every niche, it's got its things that you don't like. I mean, when I say you, I mean me. You know, the snow and the ice. With construction work, it's generally, a lot of construction trucking is seasonal, and so you're not, you know, if it's snowing out, you're not working, you're not driving. And I personally don't like driving in the snow. It's just the risk goes way the hell up, you know, and depending on how much you value your license, getting in an accident, yada yada yada. I've never been a big fan of driving in the snow. I used to drive plow trucks in the snow, but that's different. That's a different. You got a lot of weight on the truck, which prevents you from, you know, slipping and sliding. But these fuel trucks, after you unload them, you're empty. And that's when you've got the greatest potential of getting in a wreck on the ice and the snow. And it's real dicey. I just don't like it. I don't want to drive in those kind of conditions. So yeah, and I would imagine, you know, with log trucking too, that's daytime work. I don't like driving at night. That's another one of my things. It's just dangerous driving at night. Visibility, judging the road, it's just all this kind of stuff. I've never been a big fan of it. But yeah, paving, you know, paving is good work. Working for Lakeside, that's a really good job. One of my buddies did that and retired. He was a tanker. He used to haul hot asphalt for Lakeside, Teamsters, union job. He did really well for himself. That's good work, you know, and it's kind of more seasonal. So yeah, those opportunities are out there. Yeah, I mean, as far as, I don't know, I mean, the over the road stuff, like I said, it's just the hours, you know. They want you doing, you know, 60, 70 hours a week out here. I mean, it's nuts. I mean, it's nuts working those many hours. I mean, you barely have it in your clock. Like, you barely had enough time to eat, get a little bit of exercise in your day. It's totally unhealthy. It's a totally unhealthy lifestyle. And it's really sad that, you know, we don't give our over-the-road truckers, you know, enough respect, you know, and enough pay. Their pay should go up a lot more than what it is, you know, and I think they should all be on hourly pay too. A lot of them should be on hourly pay. By the mile still makes sense for a lot of people, owner-operators. I don't know. Those are my two cents. I can't really comment too much on that because I have never been an over-the-road trucker. I've always driven locally, so which it's a different animal. They're both different animals. Just reading you guys' comments here. Jason D, you think the housing market will go down? Yeah, my prediction is I think next year there's going to be a crash. I think the crash is going to happen next year. When I say crash, I mean, you know, a major correction next year. That's my prediction. And what are predictions? Predictions mean zilch, nothing. Nobody has a crystal ball. If you meet somebody who thinks they know what's going to happen, they're full of shit. So, but I'll just kind of say a couple of things, and that's it. I won't go into any more, but I just think that what we're in right now, it's not sustainable forever. You know, people can't pay the prices. The majority of Americans in America, 95% of Americans in America, okay, I'm not talking about the top people that, you know, the oligarchs of the world. They can do whatever they want. But everybody else, there's going to come a point where, you know, this is not going to be sustainable. You know, these costs that we're doing right now, unless they continue to stimulate and print more money, which is what they have been doing historically over the last decade. And that's one of the reasons why we find ourselves in this situation that we're in. So yeah, will there be some kind of a correction? I tend to think that it will, but I don't think it's probably going to happen until next year. And as far as housing prices go, that's another thing that the market, well, interest rates are already having an impact on that, because of when you raise interest rates, that limits the amount of money that people can borrow, the amount of debt that people can take on to, you know, purchase a home with a loan. And so that can pull back demand somewhat. You know, the jobs too, that's the other thing. You know, if we start losing jobs, unemployment goes up, then, you know, people are going to start losing their houses, losing mortgages. And so, yeah, there's a lot of things that are being thrust upon us right now that there's going to be some, you know, major implications, and reality is going to play out. You know, reality always plays out with everything. There's a cause and cause and effect, equal and opposite reaction with everything that happens in the economy. And we're way overdue for a correction right now. Way overdue. And it pisses me off because we need a correction. That's how you reset the market. You reset asset prices. And that's what needs to happen. It should have happened a long time ago. But the Fed has continued to inflate the dollar. And that's where we find ourselves in now, you know. And yeah, it's a pain. It's a real pain going through a market correction. It's a real pain. And a lot of people get hurt really bad with it. But it has to happen, you know. We have to have these cycles, and that's why it's so important to continually be understanding finance, understanding markets, understanding the dollar, and just getting educated financially. It's so important. And, you know, ultimately the way to, I didn't say I was going to go talk, okay, this is the last thing I'll say, because I'm not a finance channel. A lot of you guys ask me my opinions on things. That's what I'm doing. I'm just giving you my opinions. You know, the way to win the thing going on right now is you have to own assets. You have to own income producing assets. You know, you have to own a business. You have to own, saving money is the worst thing that you can do. It's just, you know, the dollar's worthless. It's just the worst thing that you can do. You have to understand, own assets, understand taxes. Taxes is always our number one biggest expense. In this world that we're moving into, you really don't have any other choices, and it's really always been like that. It's really always been like that. Is having a business easy? Absolutely not. It's hard. It's actually harder. It's a lot harder than being an employee. Cajun, sorry to hear about your job not working out. You will find something. Bless you. Thanks, buddy. They want us all broke, living off the system, socialism. Yeah, well, we are living through socialism right now. You know, we are living through. We have socialism right now. We do. You know, the stimulus printing. That's a form of socialism. But it's unfortunate because, you know, a lot of the money, it's supposed to be helping poor people, helping middle class people, but it actually, what ends up happening, it actually ends up hurting the people that need it the most, and the people, you know, at the top end up benefiting more than, you know, the people at the bottom. I mean, they get a little help, but what do they do with that income? They take it and they spend it and they give it back to the corporations, okay? And what they really should be doing is taking that money and buying assets with it. You know, buying real assets with it, real estate, precious metals, stocks, and doing that. But the money ends up going back into the, you know, into the system. So it has an intended, you know, good purpose, but then again, the thing that you know, I believe is what's really necessary is, you know, it's a correction, it's a recession, but they don't like doing that. They want to try to avoid a recession, and I really believe that it ends up hurting people more than it does benefiting them by not having a massive, you know, a massive recession. That's just my opinion. I'm not an economist. I'm just a regular guy out here living my life, and that's just my opinion based upon the study that I have done on economics and finance and listening to people who are a lot smarter than I am, which is really what you should be doing. Always try to surround yourself with people that are a lot smarter than you on the subjects that you don't know much about. There are opportunities up and down the market. Just make sure your crystal ball is tuned properly. Yes, yeah. There's so much, and it's really, you know, it's overwhelming. You know, that's why you got to really pick one thing and just go all in with it and not get yourself distracted. If it's real estate, do real estate. If it's online business, do online business. You know, guys like you, Jeff, I respect because you have played the long game with what you've done in your rental properties. I know you've played the long game, and I think it's worked to your benefit. But it's, you know, it's taken many decades to get to where you are. And today, with instant gratification, everybody wanting things now. Everybody showing you, you know, $0 to $1 million in 90 days. It goes against that creed of playing the long game. So I'm just reading your guys' comments. Kelly, Teresa, and I left Oregon partly over the housing costs. The place we bought, Sholo, cost total of about 6 months rent in Oregon. Wow. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, the cost of living. That's kind of the other reason why I really don't want to go back to Oregon. Is just the cost of living is just it's really expensive. I mean, everything is so. What does that mean? It means I can't afford it. When something is too expensive, it's not that it's too expensive; it's you can't afford it. So that's a mindset thing. So yeah, you gotta move somewhere where it's more affordable. You know, I mean, I just saw the economic refugees pop in there. Hey Bill, hey Darla, and they moved. They relocated from California to Arkansas, and it's a much, you know, lower cost of living there. And so I'm still kind of haven't given up on the West yet. Still got the West in my blood. Everything I love to do here is in the West. So haven't given up on it yet. But there's definitely, yeah, Arkansas is a really good low cost of living place to live. And it's what I like about there, at least what I've seen and read and heard from you, is, you know, you can buy property and improve it really without a lot of regulations and how you want to best do that, which is really cool. Like the barn dominium that you were talking about last night in your live stream. And that's been something that I'd love to do too. I'd love to do like a barn dominium, you know, build a shop and with a bathroom and a kitchen and you know, and that kind of a thing. Like, that would be really cool. You know, that would really complement, you know, the whole RV lifestyle. And you can do that in Arkansas, but in Oregon, doing that kind of a thing, it's not really legal. I mean, you kind of have to go under the radar a bit. You know, it's only a matter of time before the land use committee, the assessor, is going to find out what you're doing in Oregon, and then they're going to fine you. So, economic Dalton, come here. You could make a big chunk quick. Okay, at the fireworks. Well, maybe we could talk about that. You know, because right now I'm heading west. You know what I'm saying? But before I burn any more gas, I might want to head east. That sounds a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you're talking about selling fireworks or not, but that actually would be. I would have a lot of fun. A lot of fun with that, because I like fireworks. Oh yeah. I could be a selling machine. I'd be one of those people. I put a suit on, wear some kind of crazy suit, and I'll be out like trying to get people into the booth. Call me after you're live. Okay, I'll call you. CTAP 1, I had a lot of fun along the way now. It's attitude and persistence. Yes. Yeah, you know, that's time-tested principles. It always has been, always will be. Persistence, you know, and sticking through it. I can't say I've been the best at that. I have started a lot of things and quit a lot of things, but my personal philosophy has, I'm just getting into some of my own opinions, but just about me, but and just kind of share about that, what you just said, but makes me think. My philosophy has always been, at the end of my life, I want to have said that I did a lot of different things. And I tried a lot of different things. I tried doing this, I tried doing that. The person who I didn't want to be was that person who like lived their whole life, didn't take any chances, didn't take any risks, did the same thing like every day for 50 years, and then got to this place, and it's like, I didn't want to be one of those people. So I guess that's just I'm not injecting that. I'm not saying that that's what you should do or be. I'm just sharing that's what my philosophy has really been since I was young. And I have got a chance to do a lot of different things and learn along the way. And I'm continuing to learn. I'm continuing growing, trying to grow more, trying to get better at what I'm doing, and trying to just get smarter. You know, like I've always said, you know, if I'm not doing that, well, it's because I don't really know. I'm not smart enough to be doing it, you know, whatever it is, if it's taking that risk, taking that chance, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, okay, I'll shut up. You guys got me thinking here. Yeah, I need a dog. I think I need a dog. It's time I get a dog. I think it's time. It's time I get a pet. That would be a really good thing out here, I think. But if I go east, if I head that way, there's a chance I might not come back here again. That actually, to me, that's the upside. That's the upside of, you know, going somewhere else. Because the last few months I have been really thinking of really researching and looking at places of where I would want to possibly live and move to, like permanently. And I'm still having a tough time. I just can't find that. I can't seem to find that like right place yet. My sister thinks I should go to Boise, Idaho. She thinks I really like Boise. And it's really crowded there. You know, it's a lot of people there. Thought a lot about Idaho Falls, Idaho. That's a place that I'm interested in. It's close to the sand dunes. It's close to the St. Anthony sand dunes for riding, which is really cool. It's about a half-hour drive away. And then Idaho Falls is a pretty good sized community. It's got a Costco. That's kind of always a good sign. If there's a Costco in the community, then that's a good sign that there's growth and long-term growth. You know, Costco just doesn't put up a Costco in an area that is declining or people moving away. You guys have any other questions? Or you just want to hear me ramble on? This has actually been a great. This has been a good stream. I thought I've shared some cool things to talk about. I think those are sometimes the best streams when you don't really have an itinerary of what you want to talk about. Just let it flow, let it flow. This guy's still over here unloading. You know, to unload one of these fuel trucks, it can take, with a pump off like that, it can take an hour, hour and a half sometimes. Yeah, a lot of waiting around, but you're getting paid by the hour, you know, so that's the great thing about, you know, fuel hauling trucking is getting paid by the hour. Well, okay, let me back up. A lot of fuel companies don't pay by the hour. That was the thing I realized in Arizona. A lot of companies pay by some of them pay by the load, they pay by percentage. Like in Oregon and Washington and California, all fuel hauling is generally paid by the hour plus overtime. So, you guys' comments. CTAP1, not trying to hog the stream. Thanks for the thumbs up, everyone. Attitude-wise, I really enjoy my work building and remodeling houses. The same joy others get from travel. Find your own gig. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, there's no way I don't think you would have came as long as you have if you didn't love it. You know, if you really didn't love the process, and it's cool too, because you know you work for yourself, so you're not trying to make a boss happy, or, well, no, that's not true. When you're self-employed, you have to make your customer happy, but you've had, I guess, some autonomy over your work, and I think that leads to a lot of happiness as well. Hey Dave, I have literally driven every road in South Dakota possible. I'm sure you have. If you don't stop at Wall, South Dakota, Wall Drug Store, you're not an American, okay? All right, I'm gonna stop. The one thing I passed, I'm kind of pissed. I'm a little pissed at myself. I think it was in Kimball, South Dakota. There was a tractor museum. And I love tractors. I've loved tractors since I was a little kid. Dozers, all that. I've just always loved tractors. And I drove by it. Well, I didn't really know what the exit was. The signage was really kind of piss poor. It was piss poor on which exit to take. But anyways, the tractor museum. Have you checked out that before? I think it's in Kimball, South Dakota. So are we at an hour and 10 minutes here? Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here in a few minutes, guys. If you guys have any other questions, fire away. The weather's just getting nicer and nicer out here. It's just a little breeze in the air. I'll tell you what, though, this humidity makes the grass grow, that's for sure. I think my most favorite this is beautiful country, but Kansas, I don't know what it was, but I was traveling through about the western side of Kansas. It's just beautiful. Kansas, I don't know, it was just beautiful. Not much there, but it was just beautiful country. You know, you drive through these little small towns, and they were just really clean and well kept, and just neat, just really neat. I think Iowa was probably my least desirable area to drive through. Oh, Dave, I'm giving you a hard time now. DDK, hey Dalton, hey, how are you doing? Great seeing you, Dalton. Safe travels, Jeff. We'll talk to you later. All right, everyone, I think I'm going to shut this stream down. It's been great talking to you. I hope that the noise hasn't been too annoying for you, but you know, this is keeping it real. This is also making 2015 great again. This video series. So what does that mean? It just means that you're just shooting this from the hip. No fancy editing, nothing fancy, just like what we used to do in 2015. We weren't fancy. We just talked to one another like this. So that's the theme, guys. So I am gonna let y'all run. Thanks for watching, and y'all have a great day. God bless.